In England, a horrific train accident in 1952 caused the British rail system to rapidly adopt a new automatic warning system. This is the Harrow and Wealdstone station, just outside of London. With the exception of these modern trains, it looks much like it did 45 years ago. October 9th, 1952 began as a foggy fall morning. Over 1,000 people clogged the station platform. Nearly 800 of them were London-bound commuters who pushed their way into a local train as it sat next to the platform. Hurtling toward the station was an express train from Perth in Scotland. The driver or engineer missed a warning signal outside of the station, instructing him to slow down. The southbound train burst out of the morning mist and barreled into the sitting commuter train. The force of the steel locomotive splintered the wood passenger cars. Some of the wreckage was flung onto the northbound track. Moments later, an oncoming train traveling at 60 miles per hour slammed into the crushed cars that were filled with passengers. Witnesses remember seeing bodies flying through the air. The station clock was stopped at 8:19 by the force of the impact. The area became a tangled, twisted mass of engines, passenger cars, and bodies.
One heard a terrific crash, and our coach was hit in the rear by the fast train. I remember distinctly our coach reared up by the locomotive on the Perth Express. One heard the crunching of metal and the splintering of the wood, and suddenly our coach turned completely upside down, and at this point I was knocked unconscious.
Using computer animation, the actual events of the accident can now be seen for the first time. Traveling over 60 miles per hour, the Perth to London Express tore into the parked commuter train. Then, within moments, disaster struck again. The Manchester Express, also late and trying to make up for lost time, barreled into the station and slammed into the wreckage. The Manchester's two huge engines were propelled off of the tracks and into the air. They sailed above the crowded platform and then crashed down, spewing scalding steam. Rescue teams and townspeople quickly descended on the station to search for survivors. They found a grisly scene of mangled bodies and twisted metal. Chaos ensued as they tried desperately to rescue the most seriously injured.
There was wreckage all strewn over two platforms and track, and carriages literally everywhere, and the main line express, which was a double steamer coming out from Euston, had ploughed up on top of the existing wreckage, which caused a gigantic heap of wreckage. And to get to some of the carriages was very awkward. The day in question, I worked there till 2 o'clock, and we was pulling bodies and live people and dead people out all the time. The image from my eyes as we was going round the scene was like a gigantic scrapyard with metal everywhere.
It was England's worst rail disaster in history. 123 people were killed and 150 injured. No one could explain why the driver didn't see the warning signal. Investigators sought ways to prevent similar accidents in the future. The results of their investigation prompted the widespread introduction of an automatic warning system.
An accident such as that at Harrow couldn't happen today on the main lines of Britain. because all the main lines have been equipped with automatic warning signalling, which is a device which warns the driver if he's passing a caution signal. And if he doesn't acknowledge that warning, it automatically applies the brakes.
The warning system continues to be improved upon today, and it is credited with significantly reducing the number of railway fatalities in England.